Hi, this is Joe Bolen, and welcome back to Visual Basic, learning how to do a text editor. And in this project today, we're going to focus on the edit menu option that we've created. So let's take a look, first of all, where our documentation is for this series on the text editor project. Then we'll go into the project itself. The documentation for this can be found basically at pastebin.com/u/jboh, and there you'll find the different segments of the code that we've done thus far. Also, there are other videos available at YouTube that you can watch to see the whole development of the text editor project and other things related to Visual Basic. And at Imager is the screen capture of the main screen to give you an idea what the project looked like. It's very much similar to Microsoft's Notepad, but there are some differences and I think some improvements I've added to this project. So let's go into our code and take a look at what we're going to be working with. Okay, in our code you'll see that I have the Windows Designer up, and you'll see that I'm looking right now at the edit menu option, and we're going to focus today on the undo, cut, copy, paste, and delete section of this particular area of the edit menu option. And also we're going to look at the select all and inserting the time and date. We'll save the find next to replace for a later video presentation because it's a little bit more complex, and we'll introduce some Windows forms into that at that time. So we're going to focus on undo, cut, copy, paste, delete, select all, and time date. So let's go to our code and take a look at where we are at this point in time. Okay, as we come down, we have our edit menu area, and we have our cut, copy, paste, and delete section. Right now with nothing in there other than a message box telling us to code this particular option. So we also have our select all and time date insert as well at the bottom. So within these regions we're going to replace code to make this become alive. Now what I'd like to draw your attention to before we do that is to take a look at a spot at Microsoft that has information about the text box and the clipboard. And right now I'm showing on the screen the text box base dot paste method, where we can see the code that we'll basically be putting into our code in the project. So if you ever have a problem, the best place to do is go out to Microsoft Development Network and look for examples and understanding of the different methods and properties of what you're working with. So we see here that we have dealing with the particular issue of the copy, cut, paste area, everything we need to do to process our code. So let's get back into our code. Okay. So I'm going to replace this whole section here for the edit, undo, cut, copy, and paste with the code that I've already done. So I'm going to take this out real quickly and delete it. Okay, going to delete that out of there so we have nothing inside our region area. Then I'm going to pull in the code that I have already written that's basically from that spot. So I'll pull the code in, and there we go. Copy, and we'll paste it into the spot. And now we've got it in there, and let's take a look at the code itself to see what we're doing. Okay, as we come up to the top of our undo option, we're looking to see if my text box can undo returns back true. And if it does, we'll do a my text box undo method, and then we're going to clear out the undo out of the clipboard. So this is a very simple part right from our code from Microsoft Development Network. And for our edit, doing the cut, The difference is I've added the delete tool strip menu click item to the other two, which is the delete strip menu click or menu item click, and the cut tool strip button. I've added the delete because basically the cut and delete are the same kinds of functions, and we want that to be part of our clipboard, and that'll happen as we do this. So we're looking to see if we have some text that we've selected. If it's not empty, we're going to issue the My Textbox cut. Very simple command. The edit copy part, once again we have the copy tool strip menu item and the copy tool strip button, click events. Once again, we're going to look to see if our selection length is greater than 0, and if so, we'll perform a copy with the My Textbox copy. And lastly, our paste is pasting from the clipboard. So we have to examine the clipboard to make certain it has a text kind of format to paste. We could have images and other kinds of things, but we're looking for specifically the format of text to be there. So we have to examine our clipboard, and we do that by issuing a if clipboard get data object method and then get data present, and we're looking specifically to see if we have text kinds of data in our clipboard. If we do, then we want to look at if my text box selection length is greater than 0. We want to make certain the user has the option to abort pasting over what they have, make certain they have their cursor in the right location, and if they want to paste it, then we can go ahead through the process of pasting. So we see we've basically taken the information from Microsoft Development Network and coded in everything. The only difference in the change of code that I've done is I have for the delete not a special routine, because it'll be doing the same thing as the cut. So for cutting or we're deleting, we're issuing the My Textbox cut. So I've got 3 different events associated with the cut tool strip menu item click procedure. So we've got that in place. Let's go on down to the select all and time date insert, and you'll be surprised how little needs to be done in this section of code. So let me go once again insert the code for that, and I'll come down here, and all we have in the select all is the command itself, and I'll just take this out and replace it. We're doing a My Textbox select all on that. There we go. So that's all that's necessary in selecting all the text. Now for the time and date, once again, a very simple thing we're going to be doing there. And what I'm going to do is pull that code in as well. And we're going to put this code in. And what I'm doing is assigning to the selected text the now property, and I'm going to go to the toShort time string so that I get the time information in a nice format, and then I'm going to concatenate with a space, then concatenate the today's date into that spot. Also, I want to set the My Textbox modified to true to make certain that the text box notes that there has been a change to the code. So that's all we're doing this time, is putting that in. Let's compile it and test it. So I've compiled it, and we've got it going at this point in time. And what I'm going to do is go out and get some code to take a look at. And I'll go out here, and let's bring in the quick brown fox. And here I've got a lot of code coming in, and we have that. Now let's see if we can do a cut of brown fox out of there. So I'm going to highlight brown fox, come to the edit, and hit cut, and it goes out. Let's try the undo. Edit, undo. It's back in. Let's also copy it. Edit, copy, And let's put it also just at the end of the sentence for fun. I'll do an edit paste. And I've got it in. Let's also try the delete, and I'm just going to come up here and hit the delete, and it's out as well. So we've got those functions working fine. Now let's take a look at inserting, I'll just do it where I'm at, inserting the time and date. So I'll hit that. And there comes in our time and date that I'm doing this at this point in time. And this is good for a log file. I might insert the time and date, put a dash in, and then make some comments of things I'm doing at that particular point in time. Let me go back and highlight that. Let me hit edit and delete. And one of the other things we did was edit select all. So let's try that. Edit select all, and everything is selected. Maybe I want to delete all of it, and it's all gone. Maybe I want to undo what I just did. It's all back. So we have seen how we can use the edit menu options. Very simple. Remember, go out to Microsoft Development Network and you'll see under at least the paste option all the code that is part of the undo, cut, copy, paste. I've added the delete option here to be very similar to the cut, so it's using the same series of code through the cut procedure. The select all uses the select all method, and we're doing a little concatenation of time and date, inserting it into our text box for this option. We'll come back and do the find next, and replace later on in our series, but for now we've got the editor working, the edit options working pretty well. So at this point in time, I want you to go out to Microsoft Development Network, take a look at the different classes, the properties and methods of things you're working with. That's the only way to really learn all the different options and be fully knowledgeable of the things you're working with in VisualBasic.net. Also, you need to get your hands dirty in the code. Work on the code. Go out to pastebin.com where I have the code for this series, and you can study it and understand it, pull it in and work with it. It'll also be a place as a reservoir where you can go out and grab that code if you're coding something that's very similar that you want to bring into your code. So take advantage of what's there. Take a look at the rest of the series at youtube.com. And until then, get your hands dirty in code and take care.